Alrighty, guys, so the new Fluffal stuff, how good is it against some of the meta stuff? And you'd be surprised how actually good the new Fluffal stuff is against some of the meta stuff. It's basically abusing fusion recovery, as well as the new Fluffal card, the Fluffal Kraken, and also this new Fluffal Octopus. I think it's called Fluffal Octo. I don't know, in TCG that might be like, well, that's too edgy, we gotta call it something else. Anyways, the guy goes for first turn ABC, he goes for Stardust Charge Warrior, he gets rid of it, he goes for the Tsukiyomi. He got rid of it, if you guys are wondering, so there'd be room to actually make the other stuff. But he goes for a Toy Vendor, he banishes it, but watch this play over here. So he goes for Fluffal Dog, goes for the Poly, makes the Kraken, and then he's going to go ahead and have that effect to go ahead and send it to the graveyard, but he's going to go ahead and bust out all of the ABC cards. Now, all of these cards still have proc effects, but watch how crazy this is. So he's going to be able to equip a Buster Drake, but now he's going to activate Fusion Recovery, activate Poly, going to go ahead for the Frightful Sabretooth, going to bring back the Kraken, send another card again to the graveyard, go for the Poly again, bring out Sabretooth, Sabretooth brings back another Kraken, send that card once again to the graveyard, and he's just getting a lot of free bonus effects. And then he's going to go ahead and summon Frightful Tiger, blow up the back row, and he got rid of the Regeki and the Field Spell over here. Coral Dragon going to let him draw a card, but it doesn't really matter because the Fluffals are here to game. So that was really crazy. The guy made a pretty decent field turn one. Had he had a CDI, it would have been better, obviously, but man, those Fluffals looking pretty deadly indeed. So let's go ahead and play some more replays. And I'll give you guys a deck profile for something crazy. It's the DDDs mixed in with the Fluffals. But Naglucius, thanks for sending in the new Fluffals as a pretty decent deck. Like, it's looking to be an okay deck. Like, I don't want to say it's better than, ABC, because I think at the end of the day, I want to say ABC is still better, but at the same time, like, the guy made a pretty big field and he was able to combat it. And Fluffals is a deck where if you don't turn one, throw up a board. See, Cyber Dragon or the Cyber Dragon Infinity is obviously the card you want to make in ABC, but not all the time do you have the option to turn up with it turn one. Sometimes it takes 2 turns, but he was still able to put up a pretty good fight against it, even though the other card was able to negate the Toy Vendor. So without that negation, if he had a Cyber Dragon Infinity, obviously he would have negated that as well. But still, it's looking to be like Fluffals has a lot of potential, especially if they get a few more cards. I think Kraken is just an absolute crazy card. Now, he did go for the AzneyesWhitedragon, so he does have that effect. Dragon-type monster you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by effects until the end of the next turn. So he goes ahead and brings the Sabretooth, and he's going to be able to activate that effect. And yeah, it's pretty good just to be able to bring back a card, then keep on sending other cards again once to the graveyard. Had the guy not had Azure Eyes, then yeah, of course this would have been game indeed over here. But he's able to go ahead and attack over everything anyways, and it doesn't matter that he had the Azure Eyes because the Fluffals are just too good. Doesn't matter if you have those 4K beaters because look at their attacks, like they've gotten crazy. Like OTKs for days. Now, this next one up that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is pretty interesting. It is a Fluffal DDD deck. So thanks Xanis for sending in the deck profile as well as the deck. Because it's kind of interesting to see, different builds using the new stuff. And DDD Fluffals, it might be a little bit inconsistent, just as a heads up. I mean, that's just going to happen when you mix 2 archetypes that don't really work super well with each other. However, one thing that does work really well in this deck is like Rivalry of Warlords, because each person can control only one type, which is pretty easy to do in the deck. If you guys go ahead and see the extra deck, everything is pretty much Dark and Fiend. So Rivalry of Warlords, Goes and Match. I believe is this the one that had Goes and Match in it? This one's just Rivalry, okay. But most of the stuff is Dark and it's also Fiend. So you don't really get hurt at all by Rivalry of Warlords or Goes and Match, so to speak. But that's really cool that you can, kind of make a stun-ish oriented deck because it doesn't really hurt you. Now, he has the Gamma Seal over here. He's got the Burger Stomas over there. He's going to be able to go for those rank 2 plays for the Treat Toad, which is still a really good card. Look at Anti-Spell Fragrance in the main deck. Oh, man. So many people are running that card. If you're not playing Pendulums, I highly recommend you guys to run Anti-Spell Fragrance. It's just overall a really good card. It would technically set this player back a turn also that is playing the DDDs because Fluffals, they really need to have spell cards to really be able to do anything. And same thing with the DDDs. I feel like this card over here is really good, but really what makes the deck is during your main phase, just being able to keep on adding the dark, or the dark contract with the gate. it gives you so much free advantage in the game. Yeah, you have to pay 1,000 life points or take 1,000 damage, which is actually technically different than paying 1,000 life points. But for the most part, yeah, the 1,000 life points that you're going to be losing, it doesn't really matter in this deck because most decks, especially in this day and age, you don't really need that many turns to game your opponent. Now he's stuck here with the Gamma Seal, but Derively is gone. But he's going to go ahead and bust out the Dupe Frog, but he's got the Dark Contract and so much free advantage. Now he's going to go ahead and summon the Flame King Genghis over here. Then he's going to summon the Savant over there. He's going to use the Dark Contract with Swamp King. Got that free extra ability to fusion, and he's going to go ahead and negate that. But then he gets the Flame King in base down defense position, although it doesn't have the best defense, so to speak. But he does get that effect once this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Or if this card is destroyed by battle or in your possession, yeah, you get to add one Dark Contract card from your graveyard and add it to your hand. So he kind of done goof by using the Treat Toad in one aspect, but you're going to see he's going to make something really boss over here. So goes for the Burger Summon play. He makes the Kali King Yuga and blows up everything, and that's game over for him. But nonetheless, pretty crazy plays over here. But we've got some more to share with you guys, so you guys can kind of check these out. And let me know, guys, what you think of the new Fluffals. I think that they're pretty decent, especially again with that poly play where you just go for the the Leo, and then like let me go and grab that card real quick. So you go for this card. Let me move this so you guys can read its full effect. So yeah, the Frightful Saber Tooth over here. Its effect is that you get to target one Frightful monster in your graveyard and special summon, and it doesn't negate the effect, and then all Frightful monsters gain 400 attack. So not only do you get an attack boost, which it's a small attack boost, but sometimes it can help make it game, but then also, if it was fusion summoned by using 3 more monsters, it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So again, it's not that bad of a card, especially again when you're bringing out the Kraken to send something in the grave, and then you just keep on like going for it over and over, which you guys saw in the ABC play, and this guy was like, yo, I lose. Yeah, Mondolce is not going to do too hot against certain decks nowadays, just because, I mean, I don't think the deck is bad by any means, but when you're playing this card, you need to go all in, and yeah, with the lights and the earths not look too good, especially since, like, if you were running, like, Gozen Match and Rivalry, then, you know, we have Spellcasters, we have Fairies, we have Beasts, yeah, good luck with that, man. But anyways, we have another replay to share with you guys, and then I'll give you guys the deck profile, and you guys want to try it out yourself. We got the new Prediction Princesses over here with, well, there is a lot of ritual support coming out in the game. I remember when we got that one card where it just flips something or it searches, but I think it was called like Spirit of the Wind. But no, I don't think anyone's really playing that card. It's a little bit mediocre. It's not too fast. Like Manju and Senju are pretty much like the go-to cards, I want to say, for most ritual decks as of right now. But hey, I don't know. Maybe we'll get reinforcement of the search for the rituals, which we pretty much already have for most decks anyways that are ritual based. I know with the Cyber Angels we have, is it Petit Angel that just searches out one. We got Sonic Bird going old school. Gotta go Sonic, gotta go fast, man. But he's gonna go ahead and flip up that Pod Taboo, draw 2 cards, attack, and he's got that Swords of Concealing Light, which is actually a really good card sometimes. But the thing is that if he's flipping down the Pot of Taboos, let me actually swap it over here so we'll see it from the Fluffal player's point of view. But you can see over here, doesn't really want to flip these cards face down because then he's just gonna like give the opponent extra effects, and that's something that you can run into sometimes. I mean, heck, Shadal's was an older deck. Well, it's not super old, but Shadal's was another deck where like if you activated Sword, sometimes it kind of hurt you because you'd attack and then flip effect, and then you'd be like, oh dang. But he kept the Pot of the Forbidden face down. Now he can't actually flip it, but if he attacks into it, it's going to have a flip effect. So you really gotta watch out for that. You may make that Big Eye steal it, you know, and then you flip it back face up. But it says monsters on your opponent's side of the field cannot change their battle positions. So potentially what you maybe could do is you could Big Eye take it and then you could flip up the card. But I don't know if you'd be playing, actually let's see, we'll get into the deck profile in a second. Yeah, there's no Big Eye. There's a lot of things that you need to play in the extra deck, so I can understand you don't have room to play every single thing. But I mean, looking at this deck, it's looking to be pretty interesting. This duel right here is totally about the DDDs, and we got like, what Fluffals do we have here? Well, we got the Edge Imp Sabres, but for the most part, you can see that, again, certain times when you mix 2 decks together, one will kind of carry the other, so to speak. sometimes, but you know, it's kind of cool to see how innovative people are. And you can see the toy vendor is still a pretty decent card because you can discard a card, draw it, and then, you know, maybe it's a card that you don't really need. And on top of that, you have a lot of utility with the DDDs from the graveyard. There are a lot of targets where you can get something back from the graveyard and stuff like that. So even though like there's no Fluffals here, you're still using a Fluffal card to kind of speed up the deck. I remember at one point people were trying it out in Lightsworn. They were just running a toy vendor. It's not a bad card to send a Lightsworn to the grave, draw a card if it's a Fluffal monster, which it probably won't be. You just get a special one. So it just lets you go really fast. And not too bad. Otherwise, you discard the card. So you can get 2 Lightsworns to the grave. Heck, that's not that bad. And then it has that effect of the Edge Imp. Or you can add, yeah, an Edge Imp, but more than likely, if you're playing it in like a draw power deck, you're not going to need it. But anyways, I know you guys want the deck profile, so I'll go over it for you guys relatively quick. So let's go to Deck Edit. So let me give you the Fluffal DDDs, which is the one you just saw. So we got 3 copies of Oblivion King, 3 Fluffal Dog, 3 Fluffal Bear, 2 copies of Edge Imp Sabres, 3 Swirl Slime, 1 of the new Fluffal Octo, 3 copies of DDD Necro Slime, then we got 3 Fluffal Wings, 3 copies of Savant Kepler, we got 1-for-1 Frightful Fusion, 2 copies of Swords of Concealing Light, 3 copies of Dark Contract with the Gate, 3 Toy Vendor, 2 Dark Contract with the Swamp King, 1 Frightful Sanctuary, 1 Dark Contract with the Witch, 2 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. Now for the extra deck, we've got the Wave King, we've got Frightful Chimera, we got Frightful Saber Tooth, we got the new card, Frightful Kraken. Now this build is different than the other one, obviously you guys have seen that, but nonetheless you can still make some of the stuff in here. And then we got the Oracle King Diark, we've got 2 copies of those, 2 copies of Flame King Genghis, 1 copy of Frightful Tiger, we got Duo Don King Kali Yuga, number 38, and then we got Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, Dante, and Goshrick Dullahan. Now for the other Fluffal deck, which is the one that was OTKing, and I think a lot of you guys will probably be more interested in doing this. I mean, this is definitely cool, don't get me wrong, it's just you guys will have inconsistency problems, as you will with any deck that you're mixing in 2 things. I mean, like I said, there is a lot of utility though with Toy Vendor where you can kind of swap things in and out with some other cards, but anyways, I think if you guys are interested in really trying to make the deck more competitive, this is probably the better build for you guys. But you guys can let me know your thoughts down below. But anyways, we got 3 dogs, we got 3 of the Edge Imp Chain, 3 bears, 2 copies of Edge Imp Sabres, 3 copies of King of Swamp, 3 Fluffal Owls, then we got Fluffal Sheep, 2 copies of the new Fluffal Octo, 3 Fluffal Wing, 1 Instant Fusion, 3 copies of Frightful Fusion, 3 copies of Fusion Recovery, 3 Polymerization, 1 Frightful Factory, 3 Toy Vendor, and 3 Fusion Recovery, so you can get your combo pieces ready to go. Really, really consistent over here. And again, just go for that bread and butter play where you're just going to go ahead and bring out, well, you bring out 1 Kraken, you get rid of a monster, you bring out Sabertooth, you bring out this again, and then you're going to send another card to the graveyard, and then you can keep on doing that. And then they can make a second attack. But this card cannot attack your opponent directly during the turn you activate this effect. Now keep in mind, you don't always have to activate that effect. You might not need to do that because they have a bunch of low monsters. Heck, maybe there's no monsters. So this Fluffal build right here is all about the OTK. But yeah, pretty much the extra deck, it's very similar, although there are a few new cards, so I'll go over them. So we got 3 Sabertooth, 3 Kraken, we got 1 Frightful Wolf, 2 copies of Tiger, 2 copies of Sheep, then we have Galaxy Ice Full Armor Photon Dragon, Galaxy Ice Cypher Dragon, number 38, and number 23, Lancelot. Pretty interesting deck. No maxing, no back row, because you're just going to go for those OTKs. So if you like really aggressive decks, this might be a good Fluffal deck for you. And I want to say the deck is relatively budget friendly. I mean, some of these cards in the extra deck might be pricey. It depends on the rarity that we get these cards in the TCG. I don't know, knowing our luck, guys, right? The Fluffal Octo confirmed for secret rare. No, it'll probably be like super. That's what I'm guessing. You guys let me know. What do you think Fluffal Octo and Fluffal Kraken are going to be in the next set as far as rarity goes? I want to say Frightful Kraken will probably be like an ultra, and this card will be a super. But I don't know. With my luck, they're both secret rare confirmed. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys get a like button, a titty slap, and I'm signing out.